Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George, or Alt George. Breaking news, literally like 5 minutes ago, it was announced that Caroline Ellison and Gary Wang, both from FTX Alameda, have both pled guilty. And for different charges too. So they have pled guilty to federal prosecutors and they're getting charged by the SEC as well. So it's not just SBF day because SBF was flown back, extradited back to the U.S., so now in U.S. custody. But his counterparts are getting charged. And did they turn him in, right? Why did they plead guilty? Well, probably they worked out a deal. So let's talk about all this today and what else is going on in the world of Bitcoin and crypto. So, welcome. Let's jump right into it. So you can see here, breaking news. Yes, Gary Wang and Caroline Ellison pled guilty. Okay, cooperating with prosecutors. So you know that picture that swirled around in terms of Caroline in a coffee shop in New York, right? Turns out, I guess that's true. She was in the U.S. all along. Same thing with Gary. Okay. So obviously they took a deal, probably because who the prosecutors are going after is SBF. So they made some kind of deal. Okay. But I don't think it's just going to be a slap on the wrist kind of deal. And plus the SEC is also going after them. So this is South District of New York. And the SEC, although the SEC is more of like a civil complaint, which means they're just probably going to lose money because of it, if they have any. But here's what they're accused of, okay? Well, the main thing is multi-year scheme to defraud equity investors in FTX, the crypto trading platform, co-founded by Samuel Bankman-Fried, and Wang. Okay, so that one is from the SEC, right? And then going through here, there's a couple differences. So the SEC is not just throwing the same kind of charges to everyone. So for Gary Wang, since he was the CTO, he was like the main programmer. The SEC alleges that Wang created a software backdoor in FTX platform that allowed Alameda to divert customer funds. Okay, so that's his role. Like he created that. That was not supposed to, I guess, happen, right? But somehow he created this backdoor that allowed Alameda to basically siphon off customer funds. Okay, so that is what Gary is charged with. But as for Caroline, right, what does she do? Well, she manipulated FTT tokens. So her charge is for manipulating the price of FTT, buying on a spot market, okay, artificially pumping out the price, and then using the artificially pumped up FTT as a collateral so that they could borrow massive loans, right? And then use that loans to do whatever the hell they were doing behind the scenes, right? And then they were the ones that brought down some of these big lending companies, you know, like Voyager and BlockFi and Genesis and everyone else, right? So that's what she's accused of. So they have different roles. One is manipulating FTT price token, right? Inflating it, manipulating the price. Two is someone created this backdoor to allow customer funds to be siphoned off. And of course, who's the mastermind, right? SBF right on top, right? It'll be interesting to hear what SBF's defense is. Maybe he can go with the defense that, hey, these guys were working together, right? And I had no clue what was going on. That could be his defense. I don't know. But basically, SEC charged both of them. Now, as for what the South District of New York charged them with, that's unknown at this point. So they actually didn't say what exactly they charged them with. But the SEC is charging them with that, right? How many years are they going to get? How much money will be fined, right? We don't know at this point. But this is breaking news because a lot of us were wondering, hey, we're only focused on SBF. What about the other people that was part of FTX? Now we know. There's others. There's others on top, too. There's another person called Nishad, and then there's a lawyer that no one seems to know. So there's a few others, but these guys were the main guys, right? Now, as for SBF himself, well, yeah, he was extradited to U.S. custody, right? Looking thin, looking like he lost a lot of weight, maybe because of all the pressure he has been under, but he's looking good and thin and healthy, right? But he is in a U.S. custody, right? And of course, what's going to happen next? Well, Bernie Madoff, everyone's comparing him to Bernie Madoff. Bernie Madoff's lawyer said that had he been the lawyer of SBF, he would have told him to shut up. I think everyone knew that, right? I mean, SBF was trying to clear his conscience or paint this story that he has no clue what happened. He was non-complicit. He didn't mean for anything to happen, right? He did so many interviews saying that. But what lawyers should have advised him to have done was to be quiet and not done any of those interviews, right? Also, if he's looking to seek bail while all this is going on, whether this makes it to the courts or to go settle, I mean, I don't know. There's a plea agreement. I don't know what's going to happen, but Bernie Madoff, asked to go on bail, and he paid $10 million to do so, right? Will SBF be able to negotiate the same thing? And even if they did, does he have $10 million to pay as a bond, right? Maybe he's going to put up one of his mansions in the Bahamas. I don't know. And also, people are pointing out that SBF is officially going to go to the same jail where Epstein stayed at and mysteriously committed suicide. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that and let you guys soak up that information. All right. So that's the latest. I know a lot of you guys are sick of hearing about this guy, but we're coming to getting closure, right? So we are getting, it'll be interesting to see what they plead, what their sentencing is exactly, what they said, right? I'm sure they pointed a lot of fingers at SBF. And what is SBF's own defense? Is he going to point fingers back at them, right? Claiming that they were conspiring and not himself. I don't know. And what does Kevin O'Leary think about all this? Because he was still claiming that SBF was innocent and not a bad bone in his body, right? Does he still feel that way as the charges of fraud mount? We will see. All right, what else is going on today? Well, a few other things. Let's start out with the bad things. Bad turned good. I don't know if it turned good, but bad still. Genesis. We know that Genesis also feeling the heat. Barry Silbert Silbert. I think I said Shilbert. It sounds like Shilbert, but it's Silbert. Genesis and DCG obviously not feeling so hot right now because Genesis is $1 billion in the hole, right? So they're trying to figure out what to do. And Gemini chimed in saying that there's a global investment bank that is looking to patch things up. So that would be fantastic, right? So DCG would not have to sell anything to kind of patch that hole. So hopefully that happens. But Grayscale, which is also under DCG, recently announced that if they don't get ETF approval, they're going to sell 20% of their holdings. So now some of these big institutions are calling them out and say, hey, wait. Before you say that, you better explain what that means, right? Because there are a lot of institutional investors bought that Grayscale Bitcoin Trust thinking that they will profit off of it. Instead, there's a negative discount. So if they were sold off, they would actually be down like 50%, and they don't want that, right? So they want to get some clarification, which is true. We don't want Grayscale to sell anything, right? This whole thing sounds like a whole bunch of nonsense. There's no need for them to sell any Bitcoin if they don't get ETF approval. They'll just try and try and try again. Why would you want that to happen, right? So I'm glad to see that some people are calling them out and saying, hey, you know what? You can't just say that. You got to tell us what you actually plan on doing. So that's the latest. ANKR, which is a project that's in liquid staking and hosting. Recently they had a little exploit. A whole bunch of synthetic tokens was created. A whole amount, right? A whole lot. It turns out it was an ex-employee. So now they know who did it. He basically put in some bad code within one of their latest updates, and he was the one that caused it. Okay, so now they know, and they're going to go prosecute him, find him, and throw him in jail. Right? I don't see how these guys think that they could just get away with it. I really don't. But looks like they're going to stop that altogether, and they're going to use a multi-sig key so that something like this will not happen again. So that's good. Raydium also, the DEX on top of Solana also kind of reveals how they were hacked recently for about $2 million, and they proposed compensation for victims. So that is good. That is good. So we'll see how that turns out as well. So this is some closure with some of these smaller hacks. Luckily, these were not hundreds of millions like what we have seen before earlier this year, right? These are smaller hacks, but hopefully these projects learn from these mistakes and move forward. What else is there? A few Bitcoin stuff. Well, as we're heading into the new year, it's important to note that whenever we have a really bad year, and we had a bad year, okay, we tend to have good years afterwards every single time. This one is kind of broken down by quarters, so it's harder to see. But whenever you have a bad year, for example, in 2018 was a bad year. Right after 2017 is a big climb, right? 2019 actually turned out to be a pretty good year, despite the fact Q3, Q4 started coming down a little bit, but the first half was tremendous. In 2022, kind of, followed that trend. 2021 also followed that trend, right? But of course, now 2022, we know that this is a bad year, right? But does that mean we're going to follow a trend where we have some terrific years afterwards? Well, according to Bitcoin's history, the answer to that is yes. But history doesn't always repeat. May not work the same way, but history tends to rhyme, and we see a lot of similarities. So stay strong, my friends. 2023 could bring much better times. And this, again, I've shown a lot of this recently, but it's important to note that Bitcoin and ETH balances are dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. Now, part of the reason for this is because people are taking control of their own crypto. They're putting it into a self-custody wallet, which is great. But some are just buying. There are just a lot of whales and institutions also buying behind the scenes. They're doing OTC, so they're not affecting the price, but we see this often. You could see massive amount of Bitcoin and ETH being removed from the likes of Coinbase all of a sudden behind the scenes. You could track it. You could look at the on-chain metrics and see it. We see it all the time. So there's definitely still a lot of buying. But right now, when you combine both together, that's why we're seeing this. And if this continues to drop, well, we'll be at pre-2017 levels soon. And the lower this goes, the more scarce both of these assets are, and the better it is overall. So keep that in mind as well. These are great, great things. As for the U.S. market, tomorrow's looking like it's green. We're getting closer and closer to Christmas, right? So volume is dying down. Today was a pretty good day overall, plus 500, plus 162 for NASDAQ, right? So we had a little bounce, right? Tomorrow looks like it can continue, but going into this weekend, going to Christmas, we could see a mini rally, okay? Hopefully a small little mini rally. Let's hope that's the case. We saw consumer confidence increase. We saw blowout quarter from Nike, very unexpected, right? So not all is lost. There's so many that think that we're going to head into deep recession. That may not be the case, and we may avoid that. And if so, the first half of 2023 definitely is not going to be that bad. And it could actually be good. And in the second half of 2023, could be even better. Right? So, again, stay strong, my friends. Stay strong. All right, now let's do some Q&A. Shout out to everyone on Twitch. Got 7 viewers right now. Hey everyone, we got about 46 people watching on Rumble. Shout out to everyone on Rumble, and of course shout out to everyone on YouTube. Let me scroll through here. Let me see if I missed anything. I'll put this up. I know this is breaking news. All right. I'm just scrolling through some of the comments that I can't repeat. Got a new member, Zero Fortune. Welcome. Personally, I think the 2% allowed allocation for banks is the biggest news of the week. It was pretty big. I covered it, but most people ignore that. And whether or not banks will really up their holdings to 2%, don't know at this point. It makes sense. Why would they not want to while things are low? I think that's a real possibility, but yeah, I think that was pretty big news. Be curious to hear the deal Caroline got. I bet both of these guys, they know that SBF is facing possibly up to 115 years, right? And they, as co-conspirators, can be facing charges that's nearly that much. So I'm thinking, I'm no lawyer, I have no idea how plea agreements really work, but I've watched enough Law and Order to be dangerous. But, I don't know. I'm thinking that maybe they pleaded, 5 to 10 years. I'm thinking it's going to be serious. It's not going to be a slap on the wrist. It's not going to be like 6 months of probation at home. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be anywhere from 5 to 10 years. And then they probably gave some damning info about SBF. And they're going to set example to SBF. They're going to make him the next Madoff and give him, I don't know, 60 years or something like that. What's in a bag? I have no idea. I've seen enough mad life to be dangerous. That's a little before my time. Yeah, so supposedly he's going to the same jail that Epstein stayed at, right? So that's never a good thing. Is it a a coincidence? I don't know. I don't know. Did you hear a comment about Binance former CFO claiming he didn't access the books? Do you believe this? No, and I didn't hear about it. And is it relevant? No. Until proven otherwise, right now there seems to be a lot of FUD around Binance. So I'm going to take that with a big bowl of salt. He's looking like he's coming off a major high of Adderall. Oh, John says it's DCA day. I always forget. Every day it's like the same for me. Let me bring it up. Oof, unfortunately, we had a bad week once again, so that didn't go up any higher. I think it went down a little bit. Last week we were at negative 49%. Now we're down to negative 53%. This week was not that good. But that's okay. That means we have another buying opportunity. What to buy this week? What to DCA? Helium had a good pump today because they're opening up their mobile miner, so they had a pretty good day. Still waiting for EOS to rebrand to Antelope. I have no idea why that hasn't happened yet. Solana, Chainlink kicked off their liquid staking. I forgot who I had last time. You know what? I'm just gonna make it simple. I'm gonna make it real simple. I'm just gonna go with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, you can't ever go wrong. And I'm gonna go a little bit more heavy with Bitcoin. So I'm gonna do like $75 in Bitcoin and $25 in Ethereum. That's what I'm gonna do. I haven't DCA'd into Bitcoin in a while, I don't think. And you can never have too much of Bitcoin. So 0.00445. Okay, and then Ethereum. Let's add $25 worth. 0.0206. All right, this week, keep being simple. Bitcoin and Ethereum, the two big caps, the two staples of crypto. And again, $100 every week, every Wednesday night until this turns back into green to show you guys the power of DCA. Am I still following VeChain? Yes, I am. Sometimes, unfortunately, there's just not a lot going on, right? It's not like I'm streaming twice a day and every week, right, and every month. Sometimes you just have to wait. You got to be patient. There's not going to be some new development every week or even every month. Did you talk about ETH being pulled from Paxful? No, but I read it. I don't agree with it at all. Seems like the CEO of Paxful is becoming Bitcoin maxi and trying to put blame on everything, including Ethereum. Again, because of SBF and because of FTX and because of all the bad actors, right? You can't blame everyone. You can't put everyone in the same bucket. There will always be bad actors. There will always be bad projects, but that doesn't mean everything else is bad. And it seems like that is what he's doing right now, just putting the blame on Ethereum and saying, yeah, we just want to be Bitcoin only. But they're not Bitcoin only. They're still using stable coins. They're still accepting stable coins, right? So I don't agree with it. I don't agree with his stance. So did I talk about Core Scientific? No, because they already filed for bankruptcy before. It was already rumored they were filing. So, yeah, doesn't mean much. They have no Bitcoin to sell, and they're going to continue to mine Bitcoin, so it's irrelevant. When George is on Rumble, I really like to hear what you think about. Well, first of all, I've been talking about SBF a lot, and second of all, I am streaming on Rumble, so I don't know what more you want me to say. Why is Do Kwon still free? Because no one could find him. He's hiding in Serbia now, supposedly. He's not even in Dubai. I mean, even Dubai is looking for him, so he had to flee to Serbia. And that may be the last country he could go to because he has no more passports. So that's why no one can find him. What would you do if all three, you know, went the Epstein way? I don't know. That I don't think that happened. They're too visible, okay? You know, once maybe there's some shred that it could have been real, but if it happens twice, no one's going to believe that. No one's going to believe that it was just by chance it happened, right? So I don't think it's going to happen a second time. George, you know a clip of yours on Bloomberg today about Razakhan? No. And I honestly, I don't even know what Razakhan is. Am I supposed to know what that is? I have no idea what that is. Some artist or something? I have no clue who it is. Tell me who it is. Where do we get George merch? Well, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see it right below. There's an integrated store, but you could always go to CryptosRUs.com, and above you'll see the merch too. The currencies are traded, JG Lee. The currencies are traded as commodities. Digital currency should be the same. SEC is overstepping with them wanting as securities. Well, yes. Gary and SEC, they're overstepping as much as they can right now because no one is saying no, right? So that's what they're doing. They're like, we're just going to do it until someone claps back. We're going to continue to do it and steal all the power, right? The CFTC kind of told him to back off, but not really. Congress has not really told him to back off yet, right? So right now, I guess the only one is Ripple. Ripple's giving him a good fight, and hopefully Ripple wins. GM2 for Gemini credit card or upgrade a Bitcoin card with a welcome bonus. What? What are you asking? The Crocodile of Wall Street, Razakhan? I have no idea who that is. I will have to look at it. I'll have to look at it and look at this clip that they use, supposedly. LA Blue Jay. Interested in crypto? Just swing by to listen. Well, welcome. Hopefully you learn a thing or two and continue to tune in. Nevada, Syria found out about the Twitch stream. Welcome. Welcome. No one's saying anything on Rumble right now. Jonathan, appreciate it. Emery, Are you getting burned out on crypto videos? Thought you'd go do other material on other channels. Well, I'm still doing my car videos. But yeah, I would love to do other stuff. But, you know, it takes a lot of time and effort. I was going to do something creative on the I Am George channel. I was looking into, like, storage auctions and stuff. But then I thought about it. There's so much junk. I don't want to deal with moving them and dumping them. I would probably only bid for rooms that had like very little items, right? But again, right now it's cold. I don't want to deal with going outside. So I would love to do more content. I just don't know what. You know, maybe on the I Am George channel, I'll do some like night streams, like maybe Saturday night or something when I'm bored, and just talk about everything under the sun. Because I know a lot of people get pissed off somehow when I start talking about shoes or cars or about movies or sports. I don't know why, but maybe I could do like a general live show like that. Are you ready for Christmas events? I'm waiting. I'm ready for a Christmas rally. That's about it. I don't know what else. Everything else, I think we're good. Do weight training videos? I'm not an expert at weight training videos, and I'm way too out of shape to show some good videos. How high will the Integra Type R go? You mean the Type S? Yeah, I don't know how popular it's going to be. The Civic Type R is, I see some dealership try to mark up 15, 20,000 for it. I don't know if it's working. I don't know if people are paying that much still. Integra Type S could be a fun car, but we'll see. We'll see. Jessica says, please just do a live show. Okay, I might do so. I may do so. The Har Master. It's already here. It's already here. Quick house update. A lot of progress. A lot of progress. The walls are done. Windows are in. The roof is done. And they sealed it up. And they're working on the inside now. So a lot of progress. A lot of progress. I want to send you some Anointed Eagle apparel from my Etsy shop. Where can I send it? Email me. We could talk about that later. George@CryptosRUs.com. Are you streaming through the holidays? I don't know which days I'm going to be streaming, to be honest. I'm not streaming Christmas Day. Okay, so that'll be Sunday. I'm not sure if I'm streaming Friday or Saturday. Probably Friday. Not so sure about Saturday. Maybe I'll just release some kind of video. But not Sunday for sure. I need a break. I need a break. Set up a P.O. box for fans to send you stuff and do unboxing videos. See, the thing is, that sounds cool, except I'll be afraid of what some people may send. So that's the thing. I'd be afraid of getting something that I don't want to unbox. My retirement advisor was very interested. I was able to hold crypto since 2020. Or dumbfounded. Well, I mean, it's still a new thing. You know, when I talk to people about what I do, most people are still shocked, right? Especially since I'm not like a 20-year-old on TikTok either. Yeah, a lot of people, you know, when it comes to, first of all, career choice, very little is in YouTube. But second of all, as an investment, very little people actually hold a significant amount of crypto. Right? They see crypto as the Wild West, right? They've heard about it. They don't really trust it. They don't really know much people that hold it. But when they meet one, then they have all these questions, right? So I got asked a lot of questions by a lot of people that I've dealt with over the years. So yeah, a lot of financial advisors like that. And they don't know what to do if you have a bunch in crypto, right? Because that's not one of the things that they offer. So they're kind of clueless in that aspect. You could probably educate them on that. Are you into Star Wars? Kind of. There's still a lot of stuff I don't know about Star Wars. I just got done watching Rogue One. And I never finished that from years ago. It's actually pretty decent, but then I need to watch the Andor series, which I don't get how that exists because Andor died. So is it a prequel? I don't know. Or he didn't die? I don't even know how that makes sense. Joshua, man, I appreciate you tuning in, but if you keep shilling all those meme coins, man, you're going to make me do something I don't want to do. So stop shilling all the meme coins every stream nonstop that no one cares about. David, appreciate it. Dirk, shh, don't tell anyone. Andor is a prequel. Oh, that doesn't even make sense then, because he probably looks like, 10 years older. Yet it's supposed to be a prequel, right? And his role, honestly, in Rogue One was so small. So how could they build a sequel based on him? I don't know. It would have been better if a sequel was based on the engineer guy, the dad of that girl. I know him as Hannibal Lecter. Like, they should have done a sequel on that guy. I don't know. What's your favorite Christmas movie? I don't have a favorite Christmas movie. I don't really watch Christmas movies. I guess everyone likes Andor, but I'll watch it. I haven't finished this. I haven't started a series, but it seems like a weird guy to be focusing on. Looking forward to a Vegas celebration on next bull run. I have to plan on an unknown year because every time I plan it, it's like when things get bad. So I have to plan it on or I have to plan really early, and hopefully we get that going. I have a wall in my bedroom. That's not creepy at all, Corey. That's not creepy at all. Christmas Vacation, that was actually pretty good. And when I was a kid, I watched a lot of those stuff. My kids watched Home Alone like several times too. I remember growing up, I liked Home Alone. Yeah, a lot of the Griswold stuff when I was growing up, I thought was really good. But yeah, I haven't watched any recent ones. Like, I never even watched Elf. I should be watching Elf. I just never got a chance to watch Elf, and I know a lot of people say that it's a great Christmas movie. Are you gonna play Diablo 4 when it comes out? Yeah, probably not. Probably not. Someone says Elf sucks. Elf is good. Even Elf is like 20 years old. You know what I really loved? I loved the Obi-Wan series. And the series was really slow. But the reason why I loved it is because they actually showed Anakin becoming Darth Vader, right? Because in the movies, he kind of just like transisted and that's it. And then, episode 4 was like, he was already like Darth Vader for like 20 years. Like, showing the conversion, and then having the fight with Obi-Wan while he was still young, and I'm not going to give away the ending, but it was a spectacular fight, right? I loved the voice changer at one point when he got his mask cut in half and the way they like did his voice in and out. I loved it. I really liked it. It's not better than Mandalorian. Mandalorian's like the best series, but I did like Obi-Wan a lot. Thanks for taking the time to make this channel, Benjamin. Thank you for that, and appreciate your support. Can I send you some 70-40? You guys need to stop complaining about the squeaking of this chair. You know, I go rough at it, right? I put it to good use, so it's okay. It's a good chair. All right, guys, I'll let you go. Overall, breaking news, Gary Wang and Caroline Ellison pled guilty. Don't know what their terms are. We will see. I'm sure it's going to come out soon. But everyone is looking at this guy. What is he going to be charged with? For how long? And is he even going to make it? Because he is set to go here. The same jail Epstein stayed at. So, all right, guys. Have a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow bright and early. 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.